2025 edition of InvestData Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Here, so that the global market is missed, even as a response to the better than expected labor data that came from US. I'll tell you that market is also factoring the political tension, and at the same time, the deadline for tariff negotiation to be concluded as Trump is set to start issuing a tariff later as from next week. Yes, on that, I've seen that some markets across the globe, some are in the green at 2 hour, some are on holiday, while some also are still looking southward as they factor in a lot of events that will influence the activities of the economy, and who to don't forget that you can't separate the stock market from the economy. They only can disconnect for a period of time, but it cannot be a continuous thing for that. They are all paying attention to what is going to drive the economic activities and also how the government policy in one form or the other is going to work, impact positively and negatively on their market. As to speak now, we'll start to see what is happening in Asia market right away. Asia market, don't forget that Asia market is a big market that activities in the US also influencing, and also in Europe as we speak, even across the globe generally. What Trump trade policy is all about is to us to redefine what America gets and what America will not get at this particular on that. Other economy or other countries are looking at opportunity outside America and where else they can make money. And that's why I tell you that Africa will be a place to look. And I'm not surprised that seeing that the markets in Africa are looking in green to show that the macroeconomic data in South Africa is also improving, and that will be a point of attraction for foreign portfolio or inflow. I believe that this also have a way of imparting our market, NGX, Conde onto that was to explain. But if you look at what is happening in Asia market as we speak now, I think that Asia market on Friday at this hour has also kind of remain flat. I'm not surprised, after market have reacted to the improved or better than expected job or labor report that came from USA. As speak now, Hong Kong and South Korea are already in loss, as US president said he won't start sending letter to trading partner to set new tariff rates by latest today. But don't forget that the deadline is on the 9th of July. Already today is 4th. That is why you see that I told you earlier at the beginning of this program that you can see adjustment way in order to that. But as we said earlier, that the shortened holiday season on Thursday in the US lifted was some and stronger than expected job reports that now underscore the economic resilience, which is good. Telling you that yes, we look at, but I'll tell you this as the work of influencing Fed decision, and also whether rate cuts will come in very soon. However, it is a function of how the policymakers in that domain also interpret the data that just was released, and how long will it remain unchanged. Is there any possibility of a hike to control the expected inflation? These are the things also that investors are factoring in that domain in Australia, in Asia market. But Trump also sending the data, like I said earlier, later see Fridays. Well, let's see how it goes. But don't forget that the deadline, like I've mentioned, is on the 9th of July. But I tell you, South Korea and Hong Kong, all their indices are in the southward direction at this hour to reflect the negative market sentiment as they not tied up. Where are they heading to on their relationship with China, with the US in terms of trade partners? These are the things that are shaping that market. While China, Shanghai Composite Index and that Shanghai also CHIO are in green this morning. That of Japan remain unchanged as we speak right away, and the Australia index inch up with 0.2%, and that of Singapore also in the red as we speak. But also can see that the Indian index is also on the red as we speak. We'll move to see what is happening in Europe. Before I go to Europe, I'll tell you that with the ongoing geopolitical tension and the tariff coming to an end, I'll tell you that there is already a signal that despite the oscillating crude oil price, that we're likely to see inflation going to the future. On that note, most of the central banks of the world are really in a dynamic now. Is it the time to continue to hike rate or recreate or change, or to cut? And that's why I'll tell you this is also a great element forward for central banks of the world and that is what's also kind of influencing the decision right now, the what to do, and also from the survey also released so far, I tell you that the escalating trade tension and trade tension instability have taken over economic volatility as a primary concern for many central banks of the world. And why? Because they believe that no, in going to the future, will it go for for tightening, for loosening, go back to rate hike to become hawkish and all those stuff? What but I tell you, this shift is also what they see that as a risk that will factor in to their decision. That's why most of the central banks of the world are very careful what to do now. And don't forget that in this month down here in Nigeria, we're having our own policy meeting after they have left rate unchanged for two consecutive times in February and also in May. What are we expecting to see in this month of July? Don't forget that they have just only, after the July, we have only two left for what for this year. One will be in September, another one will be what in November. That means let's see if they will start this third quarter with cut now on our own here or another change and leave that of the last one that will come in September to usher in the last quarter of 2025, to have to start seeing rate cut. But let's wait and see. But I believe that no matter the direction they take, if rates remain unchanged, after seeing macroeconomic, especially inflation slowing down, that's also a pointer that yes, we might see cut very soon in Nigeria, especially in the fourth quarter, or it might start in this second half of the year, depending on the outcome of what of policy meeting that's coming on the 21st of July this year on in CBN. That is a word, like I said, tell you economic volatility as a result of this escalating trade tension. I can see today that some markets are already jittery, as they are most of the countries are yet. But I believe that it's an opportunity also for other countries to partner with others to see. As some are seeing headline inflation falling in some economy, in some wide, some are seeing it flat, some are seeing a very remaining very sticky, and to see what they'll be doing, in their policy direction. Is there need to be added or going to be cut? These are the things that it come with this Trump administration. The global economy are feeling the impact of this because emerging market debt and also green bond are also reported to have a kind of a slowdown. But I believe that let's see what the bank will do to see that this slowing down of their world move in equities in those emerging market. Let's see how it's going to affect some countries. But I told you earlier that now we're seeing improved economic data in Africa. We're seeing also inflow of funds into most of the African market. You can see that in the first half of the year, we've seen the major market in Africa, even the small ones are also closing in green. Don't forget that NGX has almost 17% for the first half of the year. Also, we've seen in other African countries. Also, we move to, like I told you, that in Europe. Let's see what Europe market. Europe market, yes, like I said, there are most of some company domain are in green, in red. But this one's also I see that on Friday trading today has opened, and the downward side to close the week for Euro market. But as we speak now, that sleep on the lower side in the red, southward, having to negative uncertainties, surrendering Trump toward deadline forward for trade days, drawing nearer. These are the things that are also causing a little jittery in most of the market. But I believe that activities also will show after US market will open after the holiday they are going to the Independence Day holiday in over the market in US is not trading today is not open because of the Independence Day in that arena or in that zone. But I told you that uncertainties over trading has continued to shake kind of put European market stock or now down as we speak, even as they have touched all-time high peak recently, boosted by what optimism that negotiation with Trump will also result into a series of trade deal. But yet now they've not been clear apart from UK that we know that they have finalized their trade deal. But others in that zone are still waiting to see where they are going. This also, if not tight, might also change flow of business trade and all those bilateral agreement. But let's wait and see how it's going to go. But I tell you, with Trump deadline drawing closer, the reef rate loom on the 9th of June. But let's wait and see. So I believe that this will also boost the economy or global economy if everything conclude on a good note and interesting. But don't forget that in Germany being the major economy in that eurozone, we're seeing that indices that are coming from that show that the manufacturing industrial order drop for the month of May. A sign of even when they have witnessed some rate cut with the ECB dropping rates for almost 3 to 4 times just to boost the economy, knowing that there's an impact of tariff on them. We are seeing that activities there is still also not looking too attractive at this hour or at this report that just came. No, but I believe that also ECB has said it has a rate cut by two basic points, 2 percent points since June 2024. But that signal a pause for this month. Let's see how it's going to be, and you have seen what has been the impact of the rate cut on this domain. It's also very important to also consider. Also, we are seeing that merger and acquisition move also talking. We are seeing also seeing taking place in that zone as Air France and know, shift toward to lift the SA world stake. These are the things that always boost market. When you see merger move buying interest into a bigger market, a bigger company, it has the world also shaping in the industry. But let's see how it's good at the transportation industry there, but the industry is going to change because of this Air France move, to shift to take stake, in SA world. For me, it's also a good one. But oil price also remain a bit flat as we speak now, slipping down into the southward. Even when the week is also heading to likely close marginally in green for the week, but as we speak now, oil price is also slide into what gradually down now each lower this Friday at this hour as we speak. Even when we are seeing that a lot of increase in production and all this OPEC also meeting, they expect what will come out from that meeting as well. So all eyes on that. Today's topic we're looking at the power of what of reward and the risk in trading stocks, trading NGX stocks. That will be our topic for today. Before we go to that, African market, like I said, is also mixed as to speak. Even when I told you for the first half of the year they have done well, this hour was in that US, Ghana market and Egypt, Kenya and South Africa. And means why Nigeria market has opened in the green, but at this hour it has pulled back to red, and I'm not surprised. Profit taking, and that is why it's good to always look at your chart. If you look at the chart that has been displayed already, you can see that then we will see kind of a halt of 2 days rebound after market have pulled back for 4 days. We saw 2 days uptrend. Within also a consolidated range, but until break out that range, I will say, but we expect that even when market pull back at this point, as we are seeing profit taking, is for market to gather strength and continue. Don't forget that Friday also is a profit taking day, and we're not surprised seeing it there today. At this the state of the market right now. But before we go into looking at the topic of today, what is the state of the market right now is very important for us to look at our market and see what is happening as we speak. Look at the market now. Say that the market also is remaining mixed, as we said that the NGX market data shows that the index is down marginally with 0.14 as we speak now. Right away, still down marginally as we speak. Right now, market is down basic point of 444.29. Right away, and the range of trading today has been between 120,801.35 to 121.03. 121,030.96 is the range we have seen so far. If you look at the market, internal or call it market breadth, are still positive. We're having 35 gainers against 20 losers as we speak right now in the market. And I see that champion Bury is one leading the gainer stars, followed by Deep Capital. We're seeing Resta also up by 9.9%, followed by Nimet also. You can see that Legend Internet that was also on the loser chart yesterday is back up. Then if you go on the flip side, we are seeing that Conhall is leading with 10% down, followed by Me and Baker. We are seeing that Ella Lake and Owando and also the Initial. These are the top 5 also on the loser chart. But in the whole market is having a positive market bread, but the general market index is also slightly in the red. This is the state of the market as we speak. But quickly look at our topic today: trading with what? Trading, the power of what? Of risk and reward in trading NGS stock. It's very important that we pay attention to this, because we have seen market rallying up for a long time, from January to today. If you look at the market index, it's up and up. Then what are the risks at the market when market is already at the peak? Either to see a breakout or fake out, which also is another topic for another day to discuss. But today we're looking at this point, what is the risk of the market, what is the reward in the market, and how you balance this risk and reward is very important. That's why I said every trade or investment has an inherent level of what risk and also and reward attached to it. And it also depends on other factors also that will influence your outcome at the end of the day. That's why you must pay attention to what to the risk factor and also the reward so that you will know where you are standing immediately before you take position. And that is why analysis is very, very important because it guides you to take what to take informed decision. Yes, when there's high risk, there's high return. When there's low risk, there's also report. You must pay attention to understand where are you putting your text. It's very, very important so that at the end of the day, you're able to make what invest. What like I say, the power of reward and risk or reward is very, very important. Like I said, because they are the two key factors that inform any trade or investment decision. The risk is the possibility of the downside of what of your position, while the reward is also what is likely to stand as gain at the end of the main market moving up. Like today, the market is moving up or down. When market, if everybody is happy, and when market is up, I tell you that both novice and all can make money in a bull market. But in a bear market, a market that is also side trending, that is where you see the work, the strength of of the professional. But in a bull market, any stock can move, and money is chasing stocks, and that. But when also in that bull market, if you enter at the wrong time, I will tell you that yes, you'll be a scapegoat in that market. That's why you must pay attention to know what is the state of the market, what is the market we're doing, what market at what stage, what is the level of fund in the market, and also what is the risk element. And that's why you must not look at your risk and reward without looking at your paying attention to your tech analysis because it helps you to understand where the market is and where the market is going. That's why you must pay attention to all this. That's why I tell you that when you want to do all this analysis, you just sit down and look at how can I take decision. And in financial market, risk and reward are inseparable as they function, as they form a trade-off. The more the risk I told you earlier I'm willing to take, the higher the potential of return. Also, less you do the other hand, the less risk you accept, the lower potential of what of your return. These are the things that you must have at the back of your mind before you take decision. What is the factor guiding you? What are you looking at to take that decision? And looking at to know the risk level in the market, especially if you're a trader or investor in the market, because yes, fundamentals are good, economic data are good, but you need to understand what is the psychology of the people in the market, what is the level of fund in the market, where has the market gone to. Why I say so is that the risk reward take a lot of diligence for you to arrive on that, to understand where to go. When the market is already reading overbought, you have seen use your relative strength index. You can even use your money flow to see where the money is going and when. If you see the market is already at overbought region, even no matter the strong momentum you are seeing, you need to also pay attention which stocks have kind of supported the market or have broke the market to that level. What is their price? Where are they coming from? What is the potential that this price will go on? What is the company doing? You pay attention to this so that you're able to arrive on the right price to buy. Like I always tell you that in any market, yes, we have fundamentals for analysis, but I tell you the price the buyer and the seller in the market agree to settle down, that is the value of the stock. Personally, that's what I see. But with the fundamental will tell you that this is the value of the stock, whether undervalue or overpriced or overvalued, what you want to call it. But for those that are trade stocks, that trade on the NCA, that trade any market of the world, you need to see what are the instruments in technical analysis that will guide you to know exactly whether the stock is overbought or oversold. You must pay attention to those instruments that you're able to know to balance your risk and reward, element in your trading. Because if you fail to do this, you might be entering the market when the market is at the peak where the risk is high. And that time when the market turns, you going to hold your position there for a long time waiting. And that's why you must know the level of risk you want to take. Also, that one starts from your planning. When you want to enter the market, it's okay, I have more, you know the source of your fund, what is your age, what kind of stock you buy. These are good things to look at. But when you are already in the market playing, you must know that yes, you must know that the market is about to break out from a support level or a resistance level, or the market is already at overbought or market is oversold, where you see that this market is cheap or the stock is cheap, overpriced, underpriced, is at oversold region. That means something good is about to come. This is another thing that you pay attention to. But if you also know that the source of your income, I don't want to risk my money, I want to target the kind of stock that if you want to reduce your risk. Am I buying into blue chip company? Am I going to invest in stock? Yes, you know that investment in equity market generally is risk. But in that risk that that is especially also to give you high return, how can you mitigate some risks that are that will not jeopardize or throw your account into red or put you into a loss position? That's why you must pay attention to this. It's very, very important. Just like as I just said, that you must look at those things that will help you to know. And also in managing your risk, your risk reward, you must understand that your support and resilience is very, very key. It plays a major role in also understanding how to relate, the power of reward and the risk. Even as we speak now, I want to quickly draw out, take one of the indicators that will help us here, that you will see what is happening in the market, and you also help you to know whether the market is at overbought region, oversold region. You will know and quickly look at what our RSI. Even when we also take our money flow, as usual, we follow our our T line, which is also very, very important support. The one that we want to use here is what we want to see the relative strength index, which also tell us where the market is also going. Is what to pay attention to this, but it's also very, very important. Your RSI is very, very key, which is your relative strength index of the market. You need to know, is the market at overbought, oversold? Once you're able to know that, you also help you to make what informed investment decision anytime, any day. Yes, we change our this to our EMA to 8, which means 8 days. And if you look at it now on this, you can see that the market is still what above the T line, which is above the data is also pulling back little or trying to side trend. But good thing, look at your money flow. Money flow is already reading 61. After pulling back at the days, we are seeing market dropping for most, what you can see that had the way fund left the market, but now we're seeing fund returning back to the market. But where you want to pay attention is at this point. You see that here we have a 70 here and 30. This when market is already above 50, it's a strong market. Even when market come down and this line, when I mean like relative, this line you are seeing here is relative line. When you see come down, it touch 50, it goes up. That market is relatively strong. Also, if you look at this market here that is going up, you can see that all this while, it has been, you can see that the relative index have remained up from all this one. Almost that are not even gone to 60. Anytime I put by before 60, that market is strong. But as we speak now, the market has crossed the 70, so the market is already at overbought region. And yes, you might see other positive momentum, strong buying, but the market is about. That means at this point, if you are taking position in the market right now, even as any season is ahead of us, you need to take calculated risk. By looking at, yes, the general market is looking at overbought. Put stocks individually that is also not at overbought. That's why when you want to do shopping, when you're entering the market in the supermarket, you look at what to buy and what not to sell. What not to buy and see what's what not to sell. But because of those things that you can buy at a credit, at a sell credit, or what we call it, a discount in the shop, these are things that you pay attention to. Right now, that general market, the market is overbought, or overbought, what are you going to do? Because it's above the 70, consider this total line is 70, wide is 40, the left one is 30. Whenever I see the market around this 30 or below, it say that the market is entering over sold region. You can see that when market was coming down, you can see here, and people saw that the market at this point they started buying. Even when it's coming down, you can also see yourself. But you can see that money flow also was down at this period before also picking up to see. But it came down when they were selling here, but it didn't cross 50. You can see that it's also going up. That fund is still relatively strong in the market. You can see that. But now, what is it that what the risk, the power of risk and reward? Here, we want to learn what are the things that this type of market is high and this market is low. Now, looking at the RSI, that's what we are using here. The market is at overbought. That means the risk here is high, even when it's a bull market. That's why cautious trading is very, very important at this point, even when the upside potential is there, because numbers we have seen so far from the past 6 years have remained positive that has supported the market. Even what is moving to our from January to date, even in Q1, Q2, we see that positive number from Q24 full year, Q1, about even now we're looking at to see the half year result after that. But at this point, that the general market is already as overbought, we pay attention to individual sectorial index to see where they are going. But I tell you that most of the sectorial index also have the same pattern with the market, especially the banking sector have the same pattern. You want to see which, or say in that market sector, which companies have not moved that has potential. This is how to do your shopping, and also that is how to go into buying what is also necessary. And I believe that looking at this power of risk, you must understand what is happening in the market. Even here now you can see that what is happening, that markets are overbought region. But you quickly look at there some stock that you want to put to see where are they going. This will help you to know to balance your position at the end of the day, so that you know what you are doing as a trader or investor. You must pay attention to what your volume, your resistance. Don't forget that at this point that market has formed a resistance here. That's that this is also a risk level. That's why as a good trader, when we see market coming to this point for the first time, at this point, you see people slow down here before it came down. And we must see eventually this market coming down at the peak. You also know that when it continue, because also it helps you to manage your what that risk reward. You need to manage your risk appetite at this point and also know when to jump in once a breakout occur. That's why I tell you at the market rebounded here 2 days ago and yesterday we saw that market was up. Every analyst or every investor is looking at as market breakout this region, the last peak of about around 121,000, 260 something. That's where people are waiting to see. A breakout already will not usher in another move, and breakout like 122. But as we speak now, consider I'm getting it today, but this midday. Want to see what afternoon session will do, but at this hour, market is trying to slow down. If you are booking out, that's another trend after pulling back, gathering more strength to continue in the uptrend. For me, as money flow is also looking up, that even when the market is pulling back, that's why fund is entering the market. That's why even at this hour, as we are seeing, fund is entering the market. We'll quickly look at what is the day 1 hour chart saying about the market. I think that in the last 1 hour, markets are trading. Okay, the last 3 hours, markets are trading on on top of the ticker. But fund that on the 1 hour chart, I think that fund is also leaving the market as we speak. But look at where it rebounded. It has not gotten to that level, but it's coming down. And this is about 40 or 30 something at this point here. And that's almost where it got rebounded on this journey. You can also really pay attention to this, very, very important. But on the 1 hour chart, the market is also weak because we are seeing that on the sliding trend, no up movement right away. I mean, profit taking have slowed down the market. That is the implication. But you come to see your T line, your RSI to want to know our overbought on our flow region. You can see that it's above it's below the 70 now. You can see that it's below the release 59. But until you get to this 50, where you see that you get to this atom band, that just says that little strength in the market. You can see that even when the market pull back here, it didn't cross this 40 or 50, or let's say exactly if it didn't cross 50, exactly. Yeah, 50. You can see that this point here, 50, 50 in that one bar. This tells that you must pay attention to all this to know. But when you see market that is below the 30, because this trend might take 20, 80, 70, 30, depending on what you want to use to guide your own, to know if depending on the strategy you want to trade. But these are the things that you need to apply to manage your risk and reward anytime, any day in the market. So at the end of the day, you'll be in reward for profit when you are trading, because we are all in the market also to make money. That's why you must pay attention to what is happening in the market, that you can also make money at the end of the day. Because of our time, let's quickly look at the trades we are seeing in the market. Even when we are using 1 hour, let's quickly look at other trades that we'll see where they are going. Is there overbought, overrated? You need to pay attention. Look at what is happening in Cavaton. Cavaton rebounded after touching the peak yesterday, but also rebounded today, trading around almost 763 after touching. You can see this Cavaton now and this 1 hour chart we have seen on that same stock. You can see that it's coming back, but we want to see that it's coming down. It's already still, as it got aside of overbought, you can see the importance of risk taking. You can see it got to this level, it started coming down. But now until we're waiting until to break out this level, this 53, we will not say here, but as it's going down, let's see. But this is a 1 hour chart we are seeing on it. If you look at a day chart, you'll see a different pattern. You can see a day chart has gotten to the same level it got yesterday, before pulling back. It has gotten there, trade as low as almost 64, going back. You can see that buyers are pushing the stock up again. But you can see if you look at the chart now, you can see that it's still at overbought region. Also, you have to play with caution. But I think any pullback here is also a good one for investor. But don't forget that yes, all eyes are still on the earnings. When you see company at overbought region, and factor that will drive also the stock higher is there, you play with caution. You might take profit but not selling that, because when the factors fall, because I tell you that apart from it, there's other factors that come to determine where the pendulum will swing to. You need to also pay attention to this. It's very, very important. It's for Cavaton. We have seen the 1 hour chart. You can quickly look at what the 2 hours chart of this stock before we look finally to get the 4 hours. On this stock, you can see that stock trying to resist decline. You can this for 2 hours. So quickly look at 4 hours chart for Cavaton before we look at Red Star to see how far Red Star is going. You can see here, even on 4 hours chart, the stock is out of our world region. But quickly look at Red Star. How far will this stock go? Red Star, how far will it go? How far will this stock go? We need to look at it and see where it is stock going from here. Even when they declare 35 kobo for a stock that said where this is a 4 hour start, we are seeing on the stock. You can see that on forward chart, if you look at RSI, for me RSI is relatively good. You can see where it is going up and down, but not below 50, but it's a good one. But this, for me, money flow is also strong at almost 85. I mean, these stocks, despite that the volume is small, we're seeing at this point the risk is not too much here. You can see it there in between. I believe that look at the day chart of this stock to see how it's looking at. You can see that the stock is still around as speaking now, trading around 83, no, 83.70, which is the peak here. Let's see how far it's going to go to see how far the stock is trading. Almost 80 something. For good thing, I look at the money flow. It's just coming up. I mean, more for in that response, that stock will go higher. Might be touched as high as 10 naira. You know, if open to flow, especially if the Q1 expected come in this number for July and this expectation. Pick one, the last one because of our time. To look at what is happening, what in me and Baker. It's very, very important to look at that. Me and Baker is a stock. I know that the sector where it is, we are seeing improvement in those sector. But if you look at me and Baker, look at the money flow. Money flow is coming down around 40, around below 40, around 40 to below 50. But another target to see where it started the journey here is coming. Will it money flow get there and reverse? Pay attention to this point. And that was around 33, 34. Pay attention to here. Even though the same place it got here, it rebounded again. Let's see, because I told you almost the same 80 to 20 here, but for this stock for RSI it says 70 30. You can see it here. And you see the market come below here in this stock before moving up. You can see it here tested it, but now the market is also at over bought region as we speak, but coming down to see at 75 reading for RSI. Not that anything above 70 RSI also above us. Now at 75, let's create and see the number that will come from this company as we speak. Look at 1 hour chart for the stock. You can see that the stock tries to resist decline, come they push it back, come here they push it back. That is that market is still having an interest in the stock. And if you look at the trend, relatively stable around the reading 58 on the 1 hour chart, but money flow is also high at 79 in 1 hour chart. Yes, I'll say thank you for your time. We'll see you on Monday and enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye. Thank you.